Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome, welcome to Happy Paper People Monday Jumpstart. I am just getting my scraps and things organized here, trying to a little bit at least, so I can get them in the picture. How's everybody doing today? It always seems like after a weekend that it's been so long, you know, even if it's only been a weekend. Good to see everybody. Carrie, welcome, welcome. First one here. Awesome. Flashcards will absolutely work. If you can't get into your playing cards, flashcards will work. Yes. Hey, KK, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Happy to see you. Margie. Hello, hello. Happy Monday, Margie and Cuppy. Shakina, hi, from Arkansas. Is AR Arkansas or is AK Arkansas? AR, it's not Arizona. Is that Arkansas? Welcome, welcome. Happy 93rd birthday. Wow, to your dad. That's a lot of years. I know he's no longer alive, but still, it's a lot of years. Hi, Gretchen. Good to see you. It is Arkansas. Awesome. Welcome. Happy to have Arkansas representing here today. Okay, so let's take care of a little bit of business. Where'd the notebook go? Those of you who are doing the Train Journal Challenge, and if you're not or didn't know about it, it's not too late. There is still plenty of time. Oh, he is still with us? Wow. Wow, then that is awesome. 93. My mom just passed away and she was 80. Oh, she just turned 88. So yeah, that's 93 is pretty awesome. That's a pretty long life, I would say. Kudos to him. I do have a lozenge here. Allergies are still killing me. I would think as we went into fall and we've had a lot of rain that they would stop, and they haven't yet. So I don't know what it is that's still blooming that's bothering me. But okay, so the train challenge. If you're not familiar with it, if you go to Happy Paper People Facebook group, at the top of the page where it shows featured posts, click on that. The first post in there is about the train challenge. The challenge is to make a journal, a book, with the theme trains. Trains, doesn't matter. Singular, plural, doesn't matter. And that's all the theme is. It is up to your interpretation. However you want to interpret that. That could be bridal trains, circus trains, locomotive trains, old rickety wooden trains, whatever. That is your interpretation as to however you want to do the journal. It could be shaped like a train. It could just have pictures of train. It could whatever. It doesn't matter. Just the theme is train. And that challenge started September 8th, but there is plenty of time because it goes until October 26th. So we still have a couple more weeks. And each week we have given one prompt, and that is a prompt of something that is to be made and used in the journal. They don't have to be made during that week that the prompt is given. Makes it easier if you spread them out, I suppose. But if you want to wait and do them all in 1 week, you can do that too. They are just to be included in the journal. So just as a quick recap, and these are in that post. So if you don't know these, don't remember them, need to double check them, go back to that post in the Facebook group, and it has all of these weekly prompts listed. Week 1 was to make 3 tags, TAGS. And week 2 was to make 3 tabs, TABS. That could be a tab on a page. That could be something that goes in it that has a tab on it. Again, your interpretation. Week 3 is 3 pockets. Week 4 is to use fabric or doily. That could be paper or fabric doily, doesn't matter. Week 5 was to use brads. So we are up to week 6. We have week 6 and week 7 prompts to go. Today is week 6. Next Monday will be week 7. And then that will be the last week. Sunday, October 26th is a Sunday. And you'll just need to post photos or video or whatever you want to do in the Facebook group by that Sunday at midnight to meet this challenge. So week 6, that is today. Week 6 is to make some kind of book jewelry. Book jewelry. That is really loose so that you can do anything you want. It could be a dangle. It could be a tassel. It could be something on the corners. It could be something on the cover. Whatever you want to do that you want to call book jewelry. So week 6 is to make book jewelry. And then next week is week 7. That's the easiest one and my favorite one. That'll top off the book and will be on the last week of the challenge. So again, that post is in the Facebook group. Okay, so hang on just a second. Let's see. Let's just confirm that. Okay, awesome. The other thing we have going on is every single time we do a live, we have a prize pack. And this is a bag that is stuffed full of stuff. And that stuff can be things that we've made on a Jumpstart. It can be things that are partially made because sometimes in Jumpstart we do different stages. Maybe we finish it, maybe we don't. It can be supplies to make things. It can be stamps, dies, markers, embossing folders. It could be anything. It could be anything because it's coming from my studio where there's a ton of stuff that we use for Jumpstarts. And it can also come from the shop where there are things that I'm starting to thin out down there and get ready for the big clearance sales that we're going to be having. So I will tell you today's bag has at least one stamp, and it's a house mouse stamp for those like me who love the house mice. It's a house mouse stamp, and it has at least one die set in it. So here's how it goes. If you make a contribution to the channel, good morning, Chris. Oh, awesome. Enjoy lunch. Oh, that'll be so much fun. Enjoy. You'll have to watch it later. Sorry that you're not here for the whole thing. But Chris, to answer your question, yes, if you do make a contribution to the channel now before you leave, then you are absolutely in the drawing, whether you are able to stay till the end or not. So anybody who makes a contribution, Carrie, Indigo Paper Project, got us started right there. You can see that she contributed. So Carrie, I'm going to write that down because I keep a list here. At the end of this live, we will put all those names on the wheel of names and spin it live so that you can see who wins. I'm going to have to get that lozenge going in my throat. The winner gets this prize pack. And all I ask is that you contribute $5 towards the shipping, and I'll pick up the rest. And I've also been giving everybody an option. The option is if you would like to pay $10 for shipping instead of $5, I will take a flat rate envelope and stuff it full instead of just this. It's about 2.5 times as much as is in this bag. And it's the lowest amount to ship the flat rate envelope is $10.50. So if you contribute $10 for shipping, then I will fill that flat rate envelope and send it to you, and you can get a whole lot more for your shipping dollars. So that is totally up to you. So don't send any shipping money right now. Let's wait and see who gets drawn at the end. And then at the end, that person will have the option. So today we are playing with playing cards. Regular old playing cards like these. If you can't find or get to your playing cards, flashcards will work. If you have small flashcards, they would be great. If you have larger ones, that just means you have to decorate more. Most flashcards have something in the corner, and we're going to leave that little thing sticking out so that you can see what it is. So that would be really cute with flashcards. So let me show you a couple of samples. And we're doing them based on color today. So this is a good way to use up a whole bunch of scraps and buttons. I was trying to use up a whole bunch of buttons. So this obviously is blue. So I've just pulled out lots and lots of blue scraps, little, couple of embellishments that are hanging around that's the last of whatever's there, and some blue buttons to decorate. Here is a green one. We all have scraps of all the different colors sitting around, and you've got embellishments hanging around. I've got so much stuff on my desk, around my desk, under my desk, on the floor. And you really can make these from just what's sitting close by. This was a cool button. It's a fabric button with that black on it. And this one was just black and white. And I decided instead of doing black for the eyelet, I would do silver. So on each one of them, we just leave the number hanging out, so you know it's a playing card. And how cute to have just a whole bunch of these in all different colors of the rainbow. Whatever journal you're doing, they'd be real easy to use to stick in your journal and to decorate. Also, might be fun to do a whole deck of cards that way. So thank you, Margie. Thank you. Yes, floor scraps. I'm going to add Margie to the list here. Certainly appreciate your support. Okay, so grab some playing cards, any playing cards. You can see that these two I've already buffed up a little bit, but I'm going to grab like 4 because I've got lots of colors here. First thing that I did was just take any kind of this is an old nail file or sandpaper or anything, and I'm just buffing them just a little bit just to take the shine off. You don't have to do this, but it just makes things stick a little bit easier. Just helps stuff stick down a little bit easier depending on your glue. So try to get the edge. That's the only reason I'm doing that, is because giving it a little bit of roughed up makes stuff stick down easier. Okay, how did I end up with 6? 3 6s. That's interesting. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so all I did was grab a bunch of scraps of stuff that were sitting around on my desk, under my desk, everywhere. And right before we went live, I started just sorting them into kind of color codes. So all different shades of blue, black and white, different shades of green, red. I've got some shades of pink and purple. There's some more black and white over there. They should just go together. And some neutrals. So just like vintage kind of thing. So neutrals, that will make a cool one too. Or browns, you could call it. And then I grabbed this. This is just a tray of like collage ephemera that we have made at different times. And maybe one of these would be good to embellish at the end. Because they're all color based. They're all done on magazine pages. Okay, and so I also have this was sitting around on my desk. I would love to use it up. There's some stickers of flowers, some different colors. This is stickers of buttons. These are stickers of flowers. Those are just gold stickers, maybe last minute embellishment. And this is just little dots, different colors of dots. So I might use some of those just to embellish and decorate at the end. I also have close by that I may dig into if we get to the end and it still needs something else, some flowers. So just assorted colors. So I've got others here too. I could dig through them and find a flower of the right size and the right color for that last minute embellishment. The blue one just didn't seem quite done until I grabbed that flower and put it on, and that was fine. That was plenty right there. So who is playing cards are 2.5 by 3.5? Yes, Yeah, I agree, Shakina. Yeah, the distressed kind of look. And you can make sure you distress the edges of the part that's going to stick out if you like that. I also topped him with a tab. Just cut out the tab of a piece of paper. I waited till I got all done to see what shade of blue or green or whatever I might like up there. You don't have to do that. You can do any other kind of shaped tab. You could do anything on the top. Might just be an eyelet and a dangle on the playing card. You don't even have to do that. So how do you contribute? Gretchen, on the bottom by where you would type in the chat, you should have a little button that says Super Chat. I don't see the same thing that you do. So if somebody else can tell her exactly where that is, left or right of the chat, and you click on that Super Chat thing, and then it would give you an opportunity to contribute. Today's a good day. So far, there's only 2 people in the drawing. So the less people, the better chance you have of winning. Here is some odds and ends of chipboard that has been hanging around my desk too. So maybe I can use up some of that. Awesome. Yay, Gretchen. Okay, so I've got, since I've got 4 different cards here, I'm going to do 4 different colors. And you could do them one at a time. You can lay them all out and do them all at the same time. It doesn't matter. I'll probably do them one at a time. And so I think I'm going to start with a black one, and I'm going to start with pink. I didn't do a pink one when I did the samples, so I'm going to start with pink. So over here, I just pulled out some scraps of paper that are in the colors. Generally these colors that I had the other scraps, odds and ends of. And that's where I'm going to get my base. I don't have very much pink there, so I might need to grab some more pink, although I do have some tissue. I don't think I have a lot of pink paper. I don't do a lot of things that are just paper. I did not cover the back. You could if you wanted. I could have also coordinated them. So that's orange back there and there's orange in front, but I didn't. That's a canasta card and it's orange. And I did not cover the back. That's up to you. You could even just cover it with coffee dyed paper or something and let it be a journal card if you wanted to. All right. I'm going to add Gretchen to the drawing. Thank you, Gretchen. Sure do appreciate you. Thanks, Carrie. I just pulled out all the scraps and stuff, and then I sat here and just before we went live, I was sitting here dividing them up so I could kind of tell what's what. So I don't think I have a lot of pink, although I do have more paper scraps right down here. That is kind of pink. Let's see here. I keep my scraps right under my desk, and so I'm kind of just looking through them to see if there's anything pink that jumps out at me. There's a lot of strips, and those are definitely not pink. I mean, if you had to, you could go to a regular piece of paper, but I really like using up the scraps because there's so many of them. It just feels better to use them up than throw them away. But honestly, if I get finished with this project, I pulled out these scraps, I finished with this project, and there's any scraps left over, they're getting tossed because there's plenty more. There's just plenty more, and there always will be. So I'm not even going to worry about it. Okay, so pink is going to be the hardest one for me. So that's a good way to start. So I think I will just start with putting some of this pink tissue paper down first. It's going to be very light, and it's actually going to be pretty see-through, but I'm going to do that first. So it's just kind of a pink base. And I'm not going to cover that number 6. I'm just leaving that. You could choose, maybe you want a different corner open than the upper left corner. That doesn't have to be, you don't have to do the same corner as me. Hi, Sylvia. Ribbon scraps are great. They are perfect. I have a couple of sari scraps here. Actually, thank you for reminding me. I'll grab my sari scraps over there. I've got a whole lot more. And there might be something pink in there. Ribbon scraps are perfect. Little fabric scraps. Fabric scraps are great. In fact, see, now I'm having to think and look harder because I don't have a lot of pink in my paper. So that's going to make me look more to some fabric and ribbon and see if there's something there. Oh, there's a piece of pink lace in the scraps. Okay, so I grabbed some scraps here. And there's some pink lace right there. I'm going to pull that out. Don't know yet exactly what I'm going to use, but it's nice to have options, isn't it? That's pretty. Got some pink in it. Oh, there's pink butterflies. Okay. That should help. That should help. Oh, there's a little bit of pink. Sorry. And I want all the different shades. I like having all the different shades. I don't want it to all be the same, exact same pink. So washi tape is perfect. Yes. I don't use my washi tape enough. So, okay. And then I've got this tissue paper that has pink and purple. And so I'm going to, so here's my tip. Here's what I found. As you start putting these things down, in the end, you're going to want to see a bunch of different things, right? So put something down on the bottom that it's okay if all of it or almost all of it gets covered. That, you know, it's not one of the focal points that you really want to be standing out. Because if you start putting these things down and there's nothing underneath it, you end up with gaps. And you end up with pieces of card showing through. And then it really doesn't look coherent. So if you just put something, you know, like in the neutral, I'll put down like a book page, and you know, like this is why I'm using the tissue paper, because it's just kind of generic. It's not a super big focal point. Not really worried about that. It's not one I want to make sure that I can still see. Okay, before I get too far on this, I'm going to cut it so that I'll actually be able to see what I'm working with. It does look different than when you have all this great big stuff hanging out the side. It's much smaller. See, so it's starting to build. So there's some pink on there. Let's get some of this pink out of the way. Get that down there. Okay, so now I've got this pretty pink paper. I've got a pink ticket. There's a little bit of pinkish fabric. Let's bring all the pink stuff down here. Some sequins that could embellish. This is kind of pink going into purple butterfly. Okay, so maybe I want some of this pretty pink paper to be right here. Whether you want the torn page or the torn edge, or maybe you want the straight edge, that is completely up to you. And you just lay them anywhere, however you want. And you know, there really is no particular, I don't think that there should be any particular recipe for do this, then that, and then that, because everyone is going to be different based on what kind of scraps and ephemera you have sitting around for it. So my general rule is just to start putting them down, and it's not done until I like it. And if I put it down and I don't like it, I just cover it with something else, right? Mark's facing, yes. Oh, hi, Laura. Background, floor, background ephemera, add marks, add texture. Yes, absolutely. Yes, so you want your background first, and then you want your bigger pieces. So that's really pretty there. And I want to see that, so I didn't want that to be the total background. So hopefully that won't get completely covered. And if it does, I can add a little bit more of this you know, down here to bring some more of that color in. So I want this Bobby Darin ticket. I like that. So that could go. Let's see. I'm looking at what other bigger pieces. There's a piece of lace. Deciding whether we want a little bit of lace. Maybe we put some lace. Maybe the lace goes down and then the Bobby Darin ticket goes over it. Question is, do I want to be able to see the whole name? If so, I maybe need to cut or tear that off because it's kind of long. 1962, June 30th, Bobby Darin. Well, that'd have been cool. That'd have been a cool concert to be at, right? I don't want to cover my 6. I do want to leave that open. So, and I could put other parts of that ticket other places too on here. Doesn't only have to be there. But I'm going to get a little bit of that lace in there. That adds a little texture, also a little variation in color. I'm going to get the Bobby Darin ticket right on top of that. I'm figuring that that glue is going to go right through the lace, and so that should hold that as well. And then I'm going to, that's an interesting back. I'm going to cut this off so I see what I'm actually looking at. So even as I cut, I'm making other scraps that could be used for a whole nother one. You could sit down and do a whole series of pink ones or blue ones or whatever. That glue did not go through the lace very well. Maybe it was a thicker lace and it soaked it all up. Hey, Patty. Welcome, welcome. And thank you for your contribution. Hi, Jill. Welcome. Thank you for your contribution. I really appreciate you guys. Let's get Patty on the list and Jill. Jill, can't wait to hear all about Colorado. Carrie, Jill was just in your state. Had a wonderful time out at the national parks. Oh, Bobby Darin. Yep. Embarrassing confession. I have a huge crush on Dion. Oh. The miracle of scraps. They have babies. Yes, they do. And that's why when I finish this, if there are still scraps left over that don't get used, they just get tossed. I don't necessarily want all these other colors in here. I'm just looking to see if I want to use any of this scrap of fabric. I don't know. Maybe I don't. How about this scrap of pink is turning out to be a hard one for me. This is a little bit challenging. It's not a color I work with a lot. And let's see if I can cut. This is, I don't even know what this is made of, but it's like a long strip of decorative stuff. So I'm just going to cut one rose out of there. I think it's a rose. Okay, and maybe that will go right there. Probably don't need the butterfly if I've got the rose. Or even that one. How about some of this? How about some of this sari? I know, pink. I'm sure I picked the one that's the most difficult for me. Maybe I'll use the sari as the tab. Maybe the sari silk can be the tab. There we go, like that. It still feels like there's not a ton there. And I know that I didn't have a lot of pink things to choose from. So doing the one that I had the least available. Getting your oil changed. Awesome. Oh, cool. Love to see them, Jill. Ask in the chat if it costs you to join the group. To join Happy Paper People? No, no, no. There is no cost to join Happy Paper People. Unless you're talking about a different group and I missed something farther up. Okay, I am going to cut this. And usually that tab is the very last thing I do. But I think I might actually put that on now so that I can embellish on top of it. Don't think I want it to be huge. But I think once we put it there, I'll put sequins on there. So let's do this. Okay. Isn't centered? I can make it centered. It's going to soak the glue right up. And you can spread that out flat, or you can let it pinch together, whatever you want. You're going to use sari. Okay, and so then tab on the other side, I think. Just decide how tall you want that tab. I think that is just about right for me. Okay. So I'm going to cut that extra off and then just fray those edges just a bit. And then maybe I should have roughed up that side so it'd stick better, but I think it'll hold. I think it'll hold okay. You could also staple that down. Just needs time for that glue to dry. You could staple that down. Oh, when you join, Allison, you can you're talking about YouTube. I see. Sorry, Allison. When you tap subscribe, that subscribes you to the channel. If you tap join, that is joining the paid membership club, which you are welcome to join in. And it shouldn't be $6.99 unless, are you in a different country where there's a different exchange rate? The join is the paid membership club on YouTube, and we are getting ready to do some private sales with the paid membership group where they're going to get up to 90% off of things in the shop as I start to clearance them before everything is brought to everyone else in the public. So I see now that what you're talking about is the YouTube join, not the Facebook join. So we've got that pink one there. I'm looking at, there's that one, but that's all light, light, and light. So I don't have a lot of pink to choose from. And so this is really kind of interesting. And it just shows you it doesn't take a whole lot. It doesn't take a whole lot to do this. There's just a few scraps, and you know, you got one little embellishment, one sequin. Doesn't take a lot to do that. Okay, so that's going to be part of my decorative portion is this part of the tab up there. Now I've got glue and all the frayed edges are sticking to me. Okay, don't think I'm going to use any more sequins, so I'm going to put those away. Maybe I should. A little farther down. That's not very many. I mean, it's not very sequiny. I could put them down here on Bobby Darin, make him jump out. Could do a little bit like this. And it almost feels like it wants something inside. I could also do like some Nuvo drops or Perfect Pearls or something, a drop inside on each of those. I feel like we still need something over here, so that might either be this or a butterfly. Now that's kind of hard to see. I have not glued those sequins down yet. You guys like a butterfly over here? I wish I had, I thought I had like some pink tickets or, oh, I do. I thought I had a pink ticket. I do. That's what we need. Pink ticket or stamp. This is kind of purplish pink, but we'll put one in the pink and one in the purple. That would work for both. Okay. So we could get, let's see here. That one's blank. I was looking for maybe something with a number or a word. This could go here, and this could go here. This could go right here. We're covering a lot of that pretty pink paper that I wanted to use, but it's okay. It'll peek through here and there and make a nice base. Okay, and then maybe a part of this flower, but maybe not the whole thing. It's probably kind of far away to see. Maybe I'll zoom in just a tiny bit. Awesome. Thanks, Allison. Congratulations. Welcome, welcome. Those of you who have joined the private membership club of YouTube, be on the watch. Sometimes I can post messages in there or videos that only go to the membership. And that's what I will do. So be on the watch for that. It should come up as a notification so that when we do these private YouTube sales for the membership, you'll be sure to get that. We're still a small group, so that means that pretty much whatever you want, you're going to get. Let's see if we can get this tiny guy in here. Actually, I think I want to get him underneath. There we go. Okay. I'm going to cut off the edge of that that's hanging over. And then let's get maybe part of this flower. What do you think? Maybe not the whole flower, maybe just part of it. Then we still need something over here. So those sequins, I think. Okay, let's do that. Let's do just a part of that flower. And then we'll put those sequins on. And this has got like a flexible, canvasy-like back that makes it really easy to work with. This was probably a good one for me to start with because it was the biggest challenge for me to do pink. Okay. There we go. Cut that off even. And now let's get some sequins over here. Before we're done, I will go grab some Nuvo drops in a pink that can go on there, but I'm going to wait while we do these others. Okay, so who's doing it along with us, and what colors are you doing first? So there is, there's a pink. We'll add that to the stack over there. I'm going to take all these pink things, and I'm going to shuffle them all over to the side. I think one pink is enough for now. I had washi, so you pull out all this stuff and it really doesn't take that much to do it. So you could, literally sit down with the few scraps that we had and do a whole series of pink ones. There is still plenty of pink scraps to do more. Okay, so we've got red and black cards here. I've got purple. I've got neutral for just like a vintage feel. I've got black and white and green, blue, and red and orange. I think I'm gonna do this neutrally just kind of generally vintage. We pull out some of these scraps and leftover embellishments that are sitting around. One ticket, there's a number. And I do want just some, I know there's some very old paper here. Old, it came from somebody's basement. It's actually rusty. It's so old. Yay! Carrie started with blue. Awesome. There we go. I'm going to start with some music paper. I'm going to start with just some music paper or book page to go on the bottom. Really like the color of that. I know it's going to end up colored up, and that's okay. You know, if you like the layered look and you want it to look like that, but you're afraid that something that you love is going to get covered, it is. However, what I've learned is that in order to get the layered look, you have to layer. You have to layer. So don't worry about it getting covered up. It's going to. But it's going to give you the look that you like. So I'm going to put this one down here, leaving my 6 exposed. I could tear that off, but I'm just going to glue it down. So I'm going to go back here and cut my edges. Oh, that's a cute back of a card. That little girl and her cat. This is Miss Margie. Miss Margie and Cupcake. Cute. Okay, so there's my base. So I'm going to move these pages out, although maybe I want some music showing later, so I'll keep that. I really do like this just old grungy newspaper. So I think just going to start gluing. You just start gluing. If you put something down and you decide you don't really like it there, put something on top of it. It's okay. It really is okay. I'm going to go a little bit higher with that. You know, that little piece poking out that just looks out of place. Okay. And then I've got this tissue paper of keys that I really like. Awesome. Allison's starting with red. That's a good one. Can't wait to see the ones that you guys make. Please do post your creations in the group, the Facebook group, whether it is what we made on Jumpstart or not. I mean, this is not the only thing you're working on, I'm sure. Hopefully you guys have a little more time during the week right now than I do, and you're making something else. Please post them all because it's inspiring. It's inspiring to other people, and it's fun to see what everybody else is doing, and you get ideas, and we need more pictures to be able to use as our header, the top of the group, because we are featuring, I just love this, featuring creations of the things that you have posted in the group. So this is a good one with some old, I want to tear it this way, some like old ledger type of stuff. And just throw that away. I don't know what I'm going to use, so keep that big. Some old ledger type stuff right there. Maybe that'll go there. Got some tickets here. I think that's a sticky. Here's a flower made out of tiny circles. I think we did that on a Jumpstart. Got a number. More numbers. There's a ticket. Just kind of spreading it out to see what I have. to choose. And, you know, don't give yourself too much to choose from, because then you can't make decisions. Just a few things, just a few pieces of paper, some neutral ribbon, a few odds and ends that are hanging around, and then just go for it. Okay, let's see. I cut the white off of the edge of this. I really don't want to take time to ink anything today, so I'm just going to cut the white off the edge. This project is about using up a bunch of scraps fast, not about inking and that kind of thing. So I'm letting this one dry, but then I may go back and put a dangle. Actually, this was hanging around with my odds and ends. I could take this and put it right onto a, it's not very heavy. It's just beads, and there's a lot of pink in it. I could put that right onto my, you know, a coilless or bulb pin, and hang it right from the sari silk there down close. So as soon as that dries for a minute, I think I will probably do that. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Something circular. We've got a lot of straight. This is actually 2 stickers in one here. Having issues with the membership as well. I'll message you later if that's okay. Yes, absolutely. Please do. Okay, so if we do that, and I'm going to tear that just a bit. And I'm going to just put a bunch of glue down here so I can start laying things on top of it. Did everybody have a good weekend? We got a lot of rain. A lot of rain. It is definitely fall around here, which I love. My favorite time of the year. I love the cool, crisp air. It's just my favorite. May not be yours, and that's okay. I understand. Let's see. What do I want? Maybe I want this flower, and then put something right in the middle of it. All the glue will dry. It'll dry clear, so that's not a big deal. Let's cut this off. I want to glue up my scissors, though. You know, Glennis isn't creating with us right now because she's in Canada, and today is Canada's Thanksgiving Day. So while we still have that to look forward to, she is enjoying her big turkey feast today. Go Glennis, enjoy. Is that a sticker? I don't think so. I'm just going to add this down here because it seems to work. And I'm going to put in the middle of it. Oops, I just dropped the round one. Got that one. Or if I can't see it right away, then oh well. That's not the one we get to choose. Okay, we're going to use this one because the other one fell on the floor. Pretty sure it's a sticker. Yep, there we go. There we go. And if you didn't need enough glue, you can always add more later. Never worried about that. There's always room to add. I made the little girl upside down. That's okay. Margie's a little ski-wampus anyway. Margie's standing on your head today. Okay. And then it needs some kind of something, some kind of embellishment. Maybe that's a little flower of some sort. Let me see what we're going to do for a tab. The one that's already put together and layered. A lot of these are layering flowers. There was something just really tiny. Thinking about what would go in the center of that. I'm not sure. I don't think I really like that. So let's see what we've got here in chipboard. The chipboard die cuts that are left over. Maybe there's something. Oh, maybe a clock. That one. A keyhole. A feather. We've got that circle now, and then that circle. I don't know. Get the things punched out of this one and see what this one looks like. I think this is a keyhole as well, but it's more decorative. There we go. So that will just bring a little bit of texture, 3D-ness to that, maybe. I'm going to set that there for a minute. And I'm going to pull out some tabs. Chubby Checkers the twist. Margie, sorry, didn't mean to turn you on your head. I know you're ski-wampus because you read my mind, and I'm ski-wampus most of the time. So let's see. I've got a lot of tabs. This is another thing that I do with scraps. I just cut tabs out of them and keep tabs in this. Sometimes I paper clip them together as to style or the paper that they're cut out of. Instead of keeping a ton of scraps, often I will just cut tabs out of them and then throw whatever's left away. And then I can just run through here and find a tab that I like. And there's such a variety that there's almost always something that will work. And if I want something specific, I can just grab more scraps and find the right scrap and then cut the specific tab out of it. But I'm first going to see if there's something. I keep coming to this one that has, it's brown with snowflakes. Maybe snowflakes isn't so bad with that. And I want something that looks a little vintagey. Got some wood there. Can also look on the backs because the backs, some of them are printed on both sides, some of them aren't. Okay. So, oh, here's some smaller tabs, and there might be one. How about that? There we go. I like that. It's like a notebook, like the notebook page. I think I'm going to use that one. So let's do that. This one is kind of a medium tab. Got the big tabs. This one's a medium tab. Then there's some tiny tabs. So let me get my tab on and then see. Reminds me of Tab the drink. We used to drink Tab. When I was a kid, my mom would drink Tab. That's her diet drink of choice. Oh, that's cute. I like that with the smaller tab on it. The medium size tab. Okay, so now you tell me, do we need to add that down there for a little more texture? Or are we good without it? No. Let me grab the, let's put the pin back in the glue. Question is, where did the pin go? Can you see it on the desk? Probably not. I can't see it either. This is why you have extras around. Stainless steel pins. Because Marianne is consistently knocking them to the floor. I will find them. I'll sweep the floor and I'll find several because I dropped one last night and couldn't find it. So I'm going to grab the tiny eyelets. You can use any size eyelets, any color. But I do have some mini ones in a variety of colors. You drank Tab too? Was that, Patty, was that a no? It does not need this embellishment. Let me see here. I was hoping there'd be a variety of color in the two that I just grabbed, that I don't have to get another one. That's pretty neutral. Okay, so I am going to use my smallest hole on my crocodile. Tab, the Diet Cola of the 71s. The 70s, yes. Absolutely. The 70s. My mother started with that, went to Diet Pepsi with lemon before settling on Diet Coke. That's funny. Yeah, my mom was Tab when I was a little kid. In her later years, she was also Diet Coke. And honestly, I used to drink Diet Coke until I found Diet Dr. Pepper. The doctor wins. Hi, Margie. Diet Dr. Pepper. That is my favorite. Okay, so then I'm just reaching around here to find while we're doing that, I'm going to do this one. I'm hoping that I don't have to go get out more bulb pins, that there will be sufficient color. That's a nice dark pink. I know I've got some bright pink as well, but I think that dark pink would be very pretty on there. So we'll use the dark pink one for that. Can't drink any diet now. Messed with my brain. What is your drink of choice, Carrie? Okay, and because this is sari silk, I'm just going to pin that right onto the sari. And I'm deciding, I think I'm just going to go got glue right there. I have to get it through the glue. There we go. In, whoops. In and then out. That's what I think I'm going to do with that one. And then pull that down. There we go. Okay, I think that will be sufficient on that. Okay, so on this one, got brown, got Got bronze. Maybe one of these brown ones. Let's do that. I don't use brown very often. And depending what I hang on there, we might want a jump ring. I'm going to grab one. I'm going to use this one. Mountain Dew. Oh, my brother drinks Mountain Dew. Actually, he drinks Diet Mountain Dew. Caffeine of choice, right? My brother-in-law, one of my brother-in-laws, mixes a whole bunch of different sodas. I don't even remember what his concoction is. How many of you do that? Mix sodas. Apparently, that's not an uncommon thing. Now, I know you've probably heard the term dirty soda. That is something that originated in Utah. And that is where they take soda and they mix other things in it, like the flavorings and that kind of thing. You know, different flavors, making dirty soda. But he mixes different sodas, a whole bunch of different sodas together. Miss Diet Coke Red. Oh. I don't know that I remember Diet Coke Red. Hi, Juliet. Good to see you. Juliet was our winner last week. You still have a few minutes if you are thinking of contributing to get into that drawing. You've still got a little bit of time while we're still working. Here's another thing that was sitting on my desk that you could use is a flat back glass piece. You put something down with a pattern and then glue this right on top of something that you want to magnify. That would make some cool texture as well on one of these. Okay, so I'm going to look in the buttons and see if there are any vintage buttons that I like. Mountain Dew and Orange Crush. Okay, I can totally see that, Carrie. I can totally see that as a good combination. Let's see. Like some smaller, lots of brown and vintagey type buttons. They would work. There's purple. Probably have a whole bunch of pink too. I didn't go to the buttons for pink. This is a good way to use up a handful of buttons. Trying not to dump them out. See if I can just move them around and see enough right off the top. But, you know, sometimes you have to grab a tray or something and just dump. Sometimes I just dump a handful into my hand. But got these great big ones on top that are just kind of blocking everything. Maybe that is sufficient, the 3 that I have. Because they're not teeny tiny ones. Vintage gold buttons would be pretty with this. Let's see how these 3 do. That one, then that one. Sometimes when you're doing the colors, it's fun. You find buttons of multiple colors, you know, like all the different variations, like I did on the green and blue. And I think that looks really pretty. I guess there's variations on brown too. That looks kind of cool. Okay. Yeah, it's a great way to use up some buttons. Give yourself a little dangle. So this is even the kind of jewelry, book jewelry that you could do on your train book, which is this week's prompt, is book jewelry. You don't have to make anything in particular. So if that's the kind of book jewelry you'd like to do, make the pink ones for days. You can use so much pink stuff. Carrie, yeah, I probably got all the black and white stuff, and you got all the pink stuff. I just don't have a lot of pink. I know I sent you a bunch of pink because I don't use pink. That's funny. But you know what? Even just with the little bit of stuff that I did have, it was plenty. I could still make more with those. And honestly, I'm sure that if I look through all my bigger paper scraps, I'm sure that, look at that, there's pink flowers that I didn't even look at. I'm sure I could find more pink stuff. Yeah, I have all the black and white. I love black and white. Never use that. And I give you all my pink because I never use that. Of course, you've got a granddaughter to make stuff for, and pinky girls. We don't have any granddaughter. Okay, so let's see. We are at 107. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting the wheel of names set up here. I probably could have used this for pink, huh? The other side for purpley. I'm going to get the wheel of names set up. You do have about 2 minutes if you would like to contribute with the super chat down below to get in the drawing for, oh, there's the pin. There's the glue pin. I didn't actually knock it on the floor. That's kind of amazing. I'm going to put it on the magnet so I don't lose it there. All right, I have Carrie in the drawing. I have Margie. I have Gretchen. And I have Patty. And I have Jill. All right, Carrie, Margie, Gretchen, Patty, and Jill. I will leave Margie off per her request. All right, if you've been thinking about getting in, there are only 4 entries. So you'd have a 1 if you add in now. You'd have a 1 and a 5 and 5 chances. So I am going to put these in 5 or 6 times. 2, 3, 4. One more time. 5. Get your names all in there 5 times. There we go. Okay. And I did not see Chris's contribution come through. I know she asked if she could, but let me go back and double check. Maybe I missed it. It did. I'm sorry. Thank you, Allison. Thank you. Thank you. I know she'd ask if she could do it even if she wasn't going to be able to stay here. So awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate you bringing that to my attention. Okay, I'm adding Chris. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see here. Yep, last one. Okay. All right. Thank you. Did I miss anybody else? I did get that. Okay. All right. Okay, Allison, we'll give it a minute then. If you sent a super chat, but don't see it. Let's see if it comes through. Oh. Did anybody see Allison's come through? I'm scrolling back. There's Chris's, Jill, Patty. It might take I don't know how long it takes. Gretchen, Margie, Jill, and Carrie. Let's see if it's caught up here. There it is. It just takes its own sweet time. Awesome. Thank you, Allison. Okay, let me get that in. Perfect. That's why I ask, because sometimes, you just got to stay on top of technology and make sure that it's giving us everything we need. All right, so we got Allison in once and twice and 3 times and 4 times and 5 times. Okay, here we go. Okay, is there anyone else that I missed? Let me go back here. There it is. Yep, I see it. Awesome. You are so welcome, Allison. I will always wait. You said you just did it. I will always wait to give it time to post, because that's just not. Appreciate your contribution supporting the channel, and those of you who choose to join the channel, then that is the membership club, and we are going to start doing some private sales there where you will get up to 90% off of things from the shop. The membership club will get first dibs at that stuff. Obviously, for joining the membership club, they're going to get first option. So if there's only a few, they might take them all. If there's a lot, then there will be some left for everyone else, for the general public afterwards. So, okay. So I think we've got everybody in there. Okay. So don't send any postage yet. When your name is brought up as the winner, then if I have not shipped to you before, please shoot me a private message so I can give you the PayPal, and you can just send shipping straight to the PayPal, and that package will go out this week. So you'll have either the option of $5 shipping, and I'll pick up the rest for this prize pack that is packed right here, or you can send $10 shipping, and I will fill a flat rate envelope, which is about 2.5 times what is in here. So that is completely your choice. Okay, the wheel is spinning, and I'm going to watch YouTube so that I don't see it before you do, because I know that there's a delay. Congratulations, Gretchen. Gretchen is today's winner. Awesome, Gretchen. I'm so excited. I always wait to add a few more things after the drawing so I see who won, so I can try to customize a couple things in there for each person individually. So I'm very excited, Gretchen. It's your first time winning, and we really appreciate your support. I think you have the PayPal, but if you don't, shoot me a message, Gretchen. I'll give you the PayPal, the Happy Paper People PayPal, and we'll get that package out to you this week. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's a good way to start the week, right? I know it's been probably pretty rainy up in the Great Pacific Northwest as well. You usually have it right before we do. So you've probably had a lot of rain too. So good time to stay in and craft and get some new stuff to play with. So congrats. Thanks everybody for joining me today. And please don't forget to post pictures of your altered playing cards in the group. I know that everybody would like to see them as much as I would. I will go post mine now so that I don't forget. I take pictures and then I tend to forget. So I'm going to do it now. Then I won't forget. And I might even sit here and make some more. So do you have the PayPal? Awesome. Thank you, Gretchen. So you have the choice of either the $5 shipping for this pack or $10 shipping for a flat rate envelope full. Your choice. Bye, everyone. Have the rest of a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.